Nonstop Local is partnering with Greater Spokane Valley Chamber of Commerce and Greater Spokane Incorporated to bring you Candidate Conversations.
Time for another candidate conversation, and joining me right now is Patrick Miller. Patrick's running for House Position 1 in District 9. Thank you so much for being with us. Again, we're asking all the candidates the same 3 questions. You get 60 seconds to answer various issues that affect businesses and people in our region. We'll start with inflation, regulation, small business taxes. Do you think that the government should be doing more or less to help small businesses?
Well, absolutely more. They're roughly 99% of the businesses in our communities, and they're really what make our communities vibrant and unique and special, right? I mean, they're local dollars being spent on local businesses that stay local. And that's really what we need in our communities. Things like Amazon coming in provided some jobs, but they got a lot more incentives to do that than our small businesses do to stay active. And I think we need to relook at how those allocations are being given and make sure that we're really funding those small local businesses that make our communities so vibrant, and maybe less so to the large national, multinational folks that frankly have record profits right now. They don't need as much help.
Okay. Talking about homelessness and mental health, substance abuse, along with theft and crime and vandalism, things that all small businesses seem to be facing, especially in the downtown core. How do you, if elected, how do you create a safe environment for business and business owners?
Yeah, I mean, there's no one fast solution, right? I mean, we have over 1,500 people homeless on our streets now. So getting them into some sort of home or shelter so that they're not disrupting our business and our normal operations is critical. Like you mentioned, vandalism, petty crime, things like that, don't help anybody, and they're not helping the people on the streets, and they're not helping our businesses. So I'm a proponent of a housing first solution. I saw that got written up in the paper this morning as well, and I think that's great. Details matter with doing that. You need a really concentrated effort. You need to actually focus on the right parts of it. You need community members working together. But until people have a place to go, the problem's always going to be there. You can move it around, but nobody wants it in their backyard. So we need to build some of those opportunities for people.
Well, speaking of housing, then Washington's rent cost median, it's one of the highest in the country. How do you address the high cost of housing in our area?
Yeah, so there's a couple root causes there, I think. One of them is sort of our subsidization of the urban sprawl, pushing out to the suburbs and the exurbs, more development on the West Plains. And that requires a lot more infrastructure to maintain, a lot more roads, a lot more water lines, a lot more power lines. And the costs build up over time, and those don't bring in much tax base compared to the cost to do that. We need to be putting more of that building downtown, provide the transportation, provide the services, and focus on building affordable housing. And I don't mean necessarily cheap, but right now the model is to build an expensive home and sell it at a high rate, and that on cheap land. And if we could re-incentivize to build more centrally, then that reduces those overhead tax burdens and allows more structures in our local areas.
All right, Patrick Miller, thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.